Welcome to the What Your Next podcast. Today's our guest is Amy. We're talking all things cozy mysteries. We've been chatting this on the group chat, well, on our one-on-one chat for some time.
Yes.
Listeners, we do have a chat. We talk pretty much every day. So this is all we're going to talk about
hmm
cozy mysteries because I shared cozy mysteries in 2024 and Amy was in 2025. And we
Yes.
have been immersed as newbie readers trying to read all things cozy. So, Amy, tell us what you've been up to.
Hey, thanks for having me. Exploring cozy mysteries, definitely. I think probably in the fall was when I started really diving into them. And I've read a couple on and off over the years. Here and there, I would randomly read one, but they didn't really stick or anything, or enough to make me like into the genre. I know Finley Donovan I read and some of those more popular ones, but for whatever reason, I got in that cozy kind of mood and I was like, Laura, help, because I knew, like you said, you had been reading them for a while. And so I've had the best time just like sampling them and kind of figuring out which ones I like. Cause it's formulaic as they are, right? They're just as formulaic as like romance books, I would say, for the most part. It's whatever. They have a cute little hobby or set somewhere fun or whatever. And anyways, they're so much fun, but there's still differences within the genre. So it's been really fun figuring out like which ones I like. And of course, I like the foodie ones the best so far. Like those are my favorite, like bakeries and cooking and all that kind of fun stuff is like the best.
Yes. Cozy mysteries tend to, similar to romance, to have conventions of romance needs to be happily ever after and needs to have some romance beats. Cozy mystery, it has certain beats. It has a sleuth, an amateur sleuth who's trying to figure out maybe a cast of characters who are helping her figure out the investigation. There's
Right.
a murder, or they might not be a murder, but for the most part, 90% there's a murder. And
Yeah.
the murder is off screen, so we don't see the specifics. We may see a little bit of blood, but we don't see the goriness of the horror. So there's no
Right.
goriness.
They usually stumble upon the body and it's
They
like already
don't
the
have a
damage is
real
done.
they're just trying to figure out what to do. And then the first book tends to be the person who is accused is either the sleuth or someone close to your family. So that's when they're solving the first murder.
Yeah,
And
like their dad or someone. Yeah,
yeah.
right.
And then most of the stuff is about the relationship, like the town, maybe a little bit about the mystery, about who solved the murder, but it's not like the
hmm
central point. And then at the end, you likely won't figure out who the killer is because there's no red
Right.
herring, there's no like clues. It's just like suddenly randomly, hey, it's tied up together. He's the murderer. I just
Yes.
pass. And then you're
Because
just like,
basically everyone's a suspect, right? Like everyone that comes on the page is a suspect at one point or another. So they're, like you said, there's no real red herrings. They all are a suspect at some point. And then usually in most that I've read, there's a little side romance plot. And a lot
yeah,
of them seem to have a love triangle. A
yeah,
lot in some of the series, it seems like a long running love triangle, which normally in a romance would really irritate me. But with a cozy, I'm just like, whatever, because that's not the point. I'm like, okay, you can have your little side romance thing. But I do like that there is a romance angle. It keeps it fun and interesting
yeah.
and stuff. But I was like thinking the other day, and I'm sure they exist. I need to look up. I was like, what about the ones where the chick's like happily married? I know Lucy Stone
Sure.
series is one,
Yes. Yeah, we have a couple.
but
Or
I was like, I need to find more of those where it's like maybe the love interest is they're already together.
yes, or they're early on together, and then they're just going to be together for the rest of the series. There's no so sometimes the sleuth police the cop, and they're like
Yes.
basically they're together and stuff, and they're just have a relationship with like law enforcement to get them.
See, I do like that. I like the amateur sleuth is like annoying to the sheriff or whatever and like gets under his skin. I like that. That creates like that fun, like romance novel type like banter and stuff
Yeah,
sometimes. If in a good
yeah,
cozy, you know what I mean? That's fun. It's like you can see he's exasperated with her the whole
yeah.
book or whatever. Like she's meddling in my investigation again and whatever. So that is cute. But I do like that they're formulaic like that and they kind of follow the same formula and everything is just punny. I love all the puns and cozy
Yeah.
mysteries from the titles to the stuff that, and they're not afraid to be like over the top. And the murders are sometimes crazy where it's like, he was in I think one of the, I read the Christmas Tree Farm mystery series over
Yeah.
Christmas with Jacqueline Frost. And one of them, the guy who died was like in a huge vat of gingerbread cookie dough or something. They're not afraid to do like silly deaths and things like that. And it's fun to see what they come up with. I'm like, okay, then why not? I don't always need to read a thriller where the person was dismembered or something. This is fun.
Red, little bit of poison. I love asking cozy mystery authors, what's your favorite way to kill a character? Because that's part of their job.
Yes.
Like some people like
Yes.
they learn all about the poisons. Other people like the murder, like gunshot and like stabbing. And because they have,
Yes.
a romance author have to keep sex scenes like exciting. They have
Yes.
to keep
Yes.
murder exciting too. 20, 40 book series. They need to keep the murder something
Oh my
different.
gosh. I don't know how they do it. And I've only finished one long running series, which we'll get to.
Yeah.
But keeping it fresh has got to be really hard because, like you said, there has to be a murder every time. The poison angle is fun. I do like that. That's interesting because that's not something I've read a lot about in a standard thriller. So that's new for me. And sometimes that's surprising. Sometimes, even like you said, the manner of death can be surprising
Yeah. So
when it comes down to it.
yeah, and I think it's like a fun little series. Like they're low angsty in many ways. I love the hobbies and I love the creative jobs. Like I've never thought
Yes.
of all these creative jobs and they do. And they're
Right.
so specific, like beekeeping, from knitting, from
Yes.
renovations, like all types of creative places. And then also locations. We got the Christmas ones, we have the actual
Hmm.
paranormal ones, we have the ones set in the beach and others set in the
Yes.
mountain. It's like
You
it's
can find anything I've
yeah.
discovered over because you know me, or this same a lot of ways with this, with making TBRs and lists and like all that curating things like that. And I've been doing that for months now and always am still, but it's been so fun because I can find anything. If I'm like, oh, I want to read about a cozy mystery where she owns a salon, I guarantee you can find at least one series, possibly more. That's set like that. Like they're very niche, but like you said, interesting hobbies, fun stuff, things that I never would have thought would be interesting. But when you said beekeeping, I'm like, that sounds kind of fun. Maybe I'll try to find that one.
Joanne. I'll send it over to you. I'll put it in the show notes. Fine. There's only 2 or 3 books in that series, and it was delightful. She's like a beekeeper. It's all about
That sounds so fun. That sounds so fun. I know I read one random one that I read years ago. She was like a wedding planner. I feel like that's a popular one. That was super cute and fun. And yeah, I think there really is a little something for every mood you're in. When you want a cozy, you can find whether it's a long series, like you said, a 3-book series. And that's the other thing I've noticed. It seems like the series are either, and correct me if I'm wrong, because I'm still so new. Series are either like super long or they're like 3 books.
Yeah.
I haven't seen a lot of middle ground.
Because I think what it is, they need the first 3, but they usually give a 3-book deal to see if it
Yeah.
sells, and if it doesn't sell, then they don't renew it. Because usually they
Right.
renew it on 3 deal installments or installments, and it just depends on how much they're selling. The books are selling and stuff.
Gotcha. That makes sense. That makes sense. But it's nice because I have started a couple 3-book series and been like, okay, well, I can finish this and it's like low stakes. I don't have to commit to a 22-book series like I did with Bakeshop. So that is nice.
Yeah. Some interesting ones that I share with you is the mafia one. No, there's a
Yes.
mafia, I feel like. So people who are in the mob boss are actually cozy mysteries, which is delightful. It's
So
a 5
fun.
series set in New York. There is actually a bakery that does cannabis, like marijuana,
Oh, yeah.
like the stuff baking and stuff like that. And it's medicinal, and they're doing all this. They're building the bake shop with it, and it has all this stuff with it.
Love that.
Dispensary. There's also, I've seen a couple of Hamptons, a lot of home renovation, and a lot of
Yes. I
Diva
have,
and Martha Stewart.
yes. I think I have Kate Carlisle has a fixer upper one. I have a few of her books on my series. I've heard good things about those. But yeah, that was one that caught my eye. I've been to the used bookstore a couple times and just browsed to see like what cozies caught my eye. But that was one that I was like, ooh, I never would have thought, but that sounds fun. Like home fixer upper DIY stuff. Like, why not?
Yeah. Cheese is another popular trope. If you like cheese, there's like 4 or 5 series that's all about cheeses. Like
I did grab that one I think you told me that was like something Gouda, the first book.
yes, up to no Buddha. I think pizza.
That
was
one.
another one. So
Yeah, that I saw that. I think you read that pizza one, that Mindy something.
Deep murder or something like that.
Yeah, it was deep dish something, but it's just fun to even just look at these covers, honestly. Because like I was saying, the titles, the covers, they're just
I know
so
it's like a dog. Like they always have a dog or a cat. They
Or
always have,
cat.
like,
Yep.
solving the murder.
Yeah. Oh yeah, some kind of animal on the cover, definitely, and or helping along with the murder. I just finished Darci Hannah's series, in Bakeshop, and the dog plays a big role
Yes, I
in
love
that series.
And if he's not a tiny dog, it's like huge dog.
He's huge. He's huge. Yes.
And I was talking to Darci about this because I actually had a former friend in New York who had a niece and lived in New York, and it was like this ridiculously huge dog, and like New York didn't have space for the dog.
Yes.
I was like, it was like the best thing that what's her name doing was to move him to Michigan so they have space.
He had some space to run around. Oh my gosh, yeah.
Because New York
totally.
was space. So yeah, so that's like basically cozy mysteries. Also, a lot of cozy mysteries are based on holidays. So we have
Yes.
Christmas, winter, Valentine's. So if you're looking for a holiday like seasonal
Oh my
reading,
gosh.
there's so
Totally.
many. Like you can
And
look
that's
there.
Yes, and that's why I don't know why I didn't find these sooner, because I love seasonal reading. I make seasonal reading guides all the time. I'm like, why didn't I go down the cozy rabbit hole before this? Because you can get really specific. They, like you said, St. Patty's Day, Easter, spring, like literally you can find a book for any kind of holiday themed event, mood. I mean, I have not looked for a holiday and not been able to find a book. Let's just put it that way. They have something for everyone. And a lot of them are in the middle of a series or whatever, but a lot of these series, I feel like if you wanted to, you could pop in and out and read, because not much changes. I think like if there's a love triangle, there might be a love triangle in book 1 and there might still be the love triangle in book 15. So if you want to read book 12 along the way because it's a St. Patty's Day one and it's March, I
Yeah.
don't think it's that huge of a deal. You're not going to be like ruining too much.
Yeah. So we gotta talk about the 3 series that we read.
Yes.
We decided once Amy joined me in Dark Side of
Mhm.
Mystery, I was like, we gotta read some of the popular ones. And I have
Yeah,
read Fluke, which is Hannah Swanson's one of the most popular cozy mysteries out there. Like probably the
definitely.
show and stuff. And then
Is
Lucy
it-
Stone, which is Leslie Meyer's long running series. Again, they're both in the 90s and 2000s. They're early kind of the bodice rippers of the cozy mystery. And then
Yes.
we ended up finishing the Bakeshop mystery, which is a later in the 20, I think they came in 2015, 2016 era.
I think you're right. Yeah, about 10 years ago, I think she started it.
And it's still a pretty popular series. It's 20 something books deep. So we talk about this stuff, but we gotta talk about first, let's talk about Lucy Stone first. Because we like
Okay, okay.
We like
I
Lucy.
did. Lucy was great. I only read the first book, and it happened to be a Christmas themed one. And it was around the holiday time, and I was doing my holiday reading guide, and I was like, this is perfect. And there's no real reason I haven't gone back to this series yet, because it was delightful. I thought it was so
Yeah.
fun. And even though it was like 1991 or whatever,
Yes.
it held up pretty well. There was a few little things that were problematic, but for the most part, I was impressed by how well it held up. And I loved her as a character, and I can see why. I don't know, how many books does she have in that series? 40? Who knows? It's a
The
lot.
daughters get married. So we meet the
Oh, wow.
daughters as like kids, like little
Yes, they're like
children,
little
like,
kids.
proud-
Yes.
proud of mom. And I think by the end of the series, the daughters are married, or they're getting married. There's like a wedding one about one
I
of the daughters.
love that. I love that. I'm definitely going to save that series and binge it just like I did Big Shop though, because I feel like
Yeah.
staying in the series and doing it all at once is just so rewarding, and knowing there's so many books. So that's on my list for sometime this year to get back to. But yeah, the first book I thought was so fun and so easy. And also I love the fact that cozies are short.
Yeah.
They're so easy to get through so quickly. Like they're usually under 300 pages, maybe under 250 sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Which
think
is
maybe we keep Lucy Stone for next December, because December tends to be like a bleak month of like new releases, and just basically we just binge it out. And like, we're just gonna spend
That would be great. It's because that's what I pretty much did with Big Shop. I started more in the end of December, but it went into January, and it was like
Yeah.
such a good way to start the year. So yeah, maybe we do that next December, January. That sounds free.
So we got Lucy Stone. Then we gotta talk about Hannah Swansen.
Oh man, Hannah.
Her thoughts. Okay. I personally tried to read the first one, and I was like, oh, this is not working. And then I was like, Amy was like, oh, let's just try the second one to see if it changed.
Yeah.
And I do not. I think it would give me your first impressions, and then I'll give my impressions of Hannah, because I have strong feelings about Hannah.
You can tell that it's old, that
It's
they're
old.
old books.
And but here's the thing: Lucy is 10 years older, and she's not as problematic as Hannah.
Not as problematic. She's way more likable.
Yeah.
She's a way just funner character, I think, overall. Hannah is obnoxious, honestly. I don't know how else to say it. She's obnoxious. And she's so popular just because there's been fans reading since whatever year that she started this series, and they just have forgotten, or I'm not really sure. I think I only read the first three books in that series, I think, is as far as I got. I don't know that I'll go back to it, especially knowing now that there's no ending to the series. She's not writing anymore or whatever we found out. But yeah, she's obnoxious, very problematic, lots of bad talk about weight and eating and food stuff. Very bad. If you have any triggers around, do not read that series, because It is awful. It reminded me of the Sweet Valley High books when it's like the Wakefield twins are a perfect size 6 and all they talked about was their weight. It's like very much along that vein of like just problematic and not good. But yeah, and I feel I can't remember details now, but I feel like there was some races.
There is a place about she goes, it's early woke, early, and she, okay, so I think, this is my conspiracy theory, I think Hannah is MAGA. I believe she's truly MAGA, and because she was complaining about some sort of like Native American name that was shipped over, and she's all this like political correctness, and I was like, oh, this is like early woke conversation.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, she really is in it. She is like,
Yeah.
invested. And she doesn't like change. She's obnoxious. She's not nice. She's not a nice person. Like, but I guess, like, in my mind, Hannah has a Bible verse in her Instagram account. Like, whatever. And then she's going to be trolling on the other people saying, you hurt her. You're hateful. You're all this stuff.
And then they always troll. And then the influencers or whatever call them out and say, oh, look, they have a Bible verse in there. Yeah. Oh, she's weight shaming. She's weight shaming. But I am somewhat curious. Now, I don't know if I'm curious enough to go back to the series, but I'm somewhat curious to see how Hannah evolves as a character over the years. Did they give her a better arc?
Sarah, our friend, read and read her book, and she said that she was still the same. So,
maybe it's not worthwhile.
We'll trade the last book of the series. The last book is just published.
Could do that. We could jump just to the end and just see like how
is she. We know that there's a love triangle. The love triangle doesn't get resolved, or they get resolved at some point, but it wasn't never resolved.
I want to say someone said that she gets married and picks someone finally, but I think it was like one of the very, very later books.
So we'll pick it up, and listeners, we'll do a quick video and talk about our thoughts on Hannah. But
is it worth continuing on or not? But I don't know. And if people want to read about an obnoxious, problematic character, they have that right to. This is not really my vibe right now.
We don't want to.
There's too many cozy. Yeah, there's too many cozies out there that I am excited about reading, and too many great series and authors that I found that I don't know if I want to waste time on 38 books of Hannah Swansen.
Yeah, it's basically different values, a different point of view, different what we want to have. There's things that were, again, Hannah Swansen would have worked perfectly in 2016, in 2020.
Absolutely.
Like, that would have
absolutely.
Been I think now our values, our worldview has changed, has shifted, and so you're looking for something different. And so, in the space of looking for something different, we found Jules Capshaw in the Bakeshop mystery in Ashland, Oregon. And
oh my gosh. Obsessed. Obsessed. She's like the anti-Hannah Swansen. I will say real quick before we leave Hannah in the past. The recipes in the book do look good. And I know Sarah's made a couple. So maybe I have the Hannah Swansen cookbook, by the way.
We should do this meal.
So maybe we'll make a dessert or something, because I think the recipes are probably fantastic. And Hannah's probably a great fictional baker. She's just not our friend. Now, Jewel can be our bestie.
Yes. So maybe we'll do some recipe. Maybe we'll do a taste test. I'll do a Jules recipe and a Hannah Swansen recipe.
Oh, that would be fun. I think Jules will win, but yeah, I think her stuff just sounds.
I learned how to cook with Jules. Jules supposed to give us tips about like how to do certain things, like techniques and everything. I was like learning how to cook with her.
No, literally, because as much as it's a bake shop, she's cooking too.
Yes.
And making great meals. And same, I will say that Darci Hannah series, the Lindsay Bakewell, she's cooking and baking and doing it all too. Very similar vibes, I thought. And I'm like, ooh.
Yeah. And they sneak in like techniques, or like, I did this way. It's kind of like a cooking show. I did that.
It is.
You should do that this way. You should have this at room temperature. Don't try to do this. I'm like, I'm learning.
Right. Or absolutely. Or like a brief history of, oh, this is the French term for blah. But it doesn't feel like you're like being like taught in school. It's just like interesting. You're just like, oh, I never knew that. Yes, it's been educational as well, let's say.
Yeah, so Ashland, Oregon is a real town in Oregon. It's where the Shakespeare Theater happens. A lot of the buildings are real. A lot of the things are happening.
Which is so cool.
Which is so cool, because I'm like, I just want to go to Ashland.
I just literally want to go to her mystery festival that she does every year. Like, it's in the fall. It looks absolutely perfect. What's her name? Spencer, I think that you told me to follow. Goes. And her stories were like my favorite thing that whole time. I was like, this looks incredible.
And like, I love it that it's not set in a convention center. Because a lot of book events are set in a hotel. Like, these are actual places in Ashland. Like, in the community aspect of it. Like, you're not sitting in a hotel, like, talking to other readers. You're like, hey, I'm actually in Ashland. solving a murder mystery. And
we're going to this restaurant to
Yeah.
meet for tea or whatever. Yes. No, it looked like the best time ever. But she does such a good job in the books too of describing it. And it's really the sense of place is so strong in that series. Like you really feel, I mean, obviously we can look up Ashland, Oregon and all that, but I'm saying even without that, you really feel like you can envision it. At least I thought you could. You're like, okay, I can see. You can picture her walking down to the festival or walking to what's the Mary Windsor with
Yes,
Richard Lord.
please do not kill
Richard's
her. I feel like Richard should not be killed. Like I know she doesn't like him
no.
and different things, but he should not be killed. It's part of the experience of Ashland.
You need a nemesis. That might be one of the things we missed when we were talking about the formulaic cozy mysteries is a lot of times they have a nemesis. But yeah, Richard Lord can't go anywhere. No, that would be like devastating if he died. He needs to be there to be like obnoxious and for us to all kind of make fun of him, right? Because now we're in on the joke and it's like, yes, you obnoxious ass. And we're laughing at him. Yes, definitely.
Yeah. So the Bakeshop mystery takes place when Jules grew up in Ashland. Her mom has a bake shop. She actually leaves Ashland to go to school because her boyfriend broke up with her. She goes to culinary school. Then she goes to a cruise, meets a guy. The guy is another chef, and they get married. And then he forgot to tell her that he has a kid. So she decided,
Carlos.
I'm going to leave the cruise ship and I'm going to go back home to Ashland. And then realized that her mom almost got in a bad deal with Richard. She was going to lose the bake shop. And Jules was like, oh, we got to solve this thing. And there's a murderer. And so she decided, you know what, I'm going to solve the murder, going to solve my mom's issue. And then over the course of 22 books, we're only at 20 because we're listening to the books. We see Jules go from this little tourist shop, this little bake shop, to an empire with an ice cream shop.
Definitely.
A vineyard, yes. They got the pizza stuff downstairs. They have 2 floors.
They've expanded. They've saved the business. She helped her mom save the business because her father passed away. So it's just her and her mom. But yeah, she helped save the family business. And it's like very sentimental to her because she grew up going there, obviously, because her parents owned it. And it's a piece of her dad. And that part was really well done too, I thought, like the family connections and showing why it was so important for her to save this. Not only because it was her mom's, but it's her dad's gone. So that was really special or whatever. But yeah, and it's been such a good evolution of the shop, her character, her relationship with Carlos, on and off, up and down, all that has been so interesting to see over the 20 books that we've read. And yes, we're going to read them next too, but we wait on audio usually. I might not though. I'm kind of itching to get back to Ashland, so I might read the next two. Like I'm kind of, because I'm like, they're not long, so maybe I will. If I was like going to be snowed in this week and half the country is, that's probably what I would do. I'm not going to be, which is kind of unfortunate, honestly. I wouldn't mind it.
I'm not going to be snowed in too. I have sun. Right?
No, Arizona and Florida girls are not going to be snowed in. We are.
But I think we should definitely read, like, just get it over with and just read that. I know this year is going to end sometime soon. I think there's rumblings about it. I want to talk to Ellie about coming on the show, and I invited. She said yes. We just have to figure out scheduling. And
yes, you got to get her on the show so you can ask her all of our burning questions because that would be amazing. She is the sweetest person too.
Yeah, but I love like in the way that you build this like little bite size of a story, and over a course of 20 books, you build side characters. You kept it fresh. There's multiple weddings. There's multiple murders. There's multiple retreats. There's multiple ways to keep it fresh, and like you're just not
absolutely.
You might be in the ski resort. Like
that was so great,
and they basically just did like little parts and pieces. And sometimes
that
was a sleuth. It's my least favorite one, but the dad was actually turned out to be the sleuth, and the professor who is actually the law enforcement. She has like a couple law enforcement person. It's her stepdad, but he also was best friend with the dad and mom and stuff.
Right.
We see that with it, like
absolutely.
Her.
That's been great. And her side characters, I'm obsessed with all of them. Like the guys that work there, she hired them as young college kids, and Stephanie, and I forget all of their names because it's been a couple weeks since I read and stuff. And then Andy, love Andy, the coffee barista. And that was fun. There was one that was about the coffee competition. That was super fun. I think my favorite so far has been the one where they were opening scoops. I don't know why that one works so well for me, but I was obsessed with that one. That was the only one I think I gave 5 stars to. I was so obsessed with that one. They're all good. Don't get me wrong. Like I haven't hated one. There's been ones that I like more than the others, but I think that one was Chilled to the Cone. Again, cutest titles ever. Chilled to the Cone. And then she's opening an ice cream store, like little cart thing. Hello. How cute is that?
Yeah.
cutest. But no, her side characters, her mom, the professor, Carlos's son, there are a ton, and it kind of probably sounds overwhelming, but it works so beautifully. And they're all, like you said, slowly over 20 books developed, but you get to know them and what they want to do. And I don't want the series to end. I'm so sad. It's going to be really sad when I guess we can reread. I don't reread though. Do
I
you
don't
reread books?
No, I do
Not really. I have a couple times in my life, but I'm always like, why would I do that? I have so many books I want to read.
I only reread the off-campus series like 3 or 4 times for
Okay,
books.
I could get behind that because that series was damn freaking
But
good.
that is like the gold standard, but at the same time, I'm kind of
Yeah,
scared about the TV show just as a tangent because I'm like, what if they mess it up? And
I
they do.
know.
He did a great job with Heated Robbery, so I don't know.
They did Heated Rivalry good, so I've heard. I haven't watched it yet. I'm watching The Pit. I don't know if you've watched that. It's really
I
great.
Yeah, I think you should watch Heated Rivalry on the
That's on
Korean
my
series, like,
Mhm.
like just
That's on my list next, I think, after this, after I get done with The Pit, because everyone just keeps saying the little snippets we've seen for the off-campus series, so it looks
Yeah.
good. The casting's great. My thing is with that one, because it's so near and dear to me, because most of the time when they do adaptations, I'm not that married to it, but like we obviously both love that series, so it's like you better not fuck it up.
Yeah.
But if they do mess it up, I just will quit watching and we'll pretend like it didn't happen.
Yes.
We'll pretend like they never adapted.
Yes. Yeah. So more to come with that. But yes.
We'll
So
have to see. I think, is that out this fall?
I
I want to say.
no, I think it's gonna be coming soon.
Is it soon? Oh my gosh, Laura. Oh, I'm so nervous.
It's soon. It's soon. I guess they're trying to get, especially with the Heated Rivalry
Yeah, that's true. The romance,
and the
watchers,
stuff, like,
readers, everyone.
Or-
Well,
like, we saw-
adaptations are hot right now.
yeah, I saw like a picture of the Golden Globes with the off-campus kids and Heated Rivalry kids, like they're all together. So I guess
Oh,
doing some sort of
they're doing some cross promo, press something
promo.
together.
So I'm assuming
Gotcha.
I do cross because both are filmed in Canada, like off-campus and
Right.
in Canada and Victoria. So I don't know. I foresee this to be, and it's the same format of like unknowns, like not people, like well-known people, and
Right. Right. I like that. And it, like you said, it worked for Heated Rivalry. I'm going
And it worked for
pray that it
Summer Turn
works.
Pretty. You watched the Summer Turn Pretty. So it was done
Yes.
by Amazon. So it likely, they might have better adaptation than if it was Netflix or even HBO, because Heated Rivalry was
Yeah.
Canada, not by.
I haven't watched a ton of adaptations personally, so I don't really know, but I do hear a lot of whispering when they're not good. We hear about it, that people are like disappointed in them or things like that. The one I need to go back to that everyone keeps telling me I need to try again is Tell Me Lies. They keep saying that after season 1, it gets better.
Season 2. I am doing
Yeah.
I that. Like, it's so toxic. It's like millennial. Like, we're older than they are. So our content
Yes.
is far superior than they were. But they're like the music, the makeup, the low rise scenes, the phone,
Yes.
iPhone, and
Okay.
stuff. Like,
See, and I
very
love
more-
the book. I just couldn't get past like the first couple episodes of
the-
season 1, and I
the
was just
season-
like bored.
I was told to skip season 1. You get a recap in season 2, and then season 2 is much better. It's a much more engaging. There's a really good
I
storyline.
just hate that trope. And it's, oh, the first 3 books are shit, but then read the next. Or like the first season, it's like, it's hard for me to get on the train with it. You're like, okay, whatever. Does it really get better? But you are like the 10th person that told me like season 2's better and then 3 gets even better and whatever. So I need to try that. I was just thinking one show I did watch and I liked the first season and then it went off the rails was You. Did you watch You?
No, I did not actually.
The first season was good, and I think it went on 4 or 5. But then I started watching the second season, and I was like, "Oh no, we have taken Joe to a place I don't need to go." Like it was too much for me. And I loved those books. I read all of the books; they were fantastic. The audiobooks were incredible. But like the first season of that show was great, but you just stop. You don't need to watch it anymore. Like it's fine. Just sometimes they just need to let it go. We don't need to make 7, 8 seasons of stuff.
No.
Not necessary.
Not
And we got
necessary.
off on a tangent there.
We
From
did.
Ashland, Oregon to Tell Me Lies, toxic college relationships.
Yeah, we went from Lance, who is a fabulous gay best friend, who's rich. I love Lance,
Yes.
by the way. He's
Lance is the best.
he's so rich, and he gave
So rich.
Stephanie like money, and they were like shocked.
Yes.
It's a lot of money, and Jules was like, "Don't worry about it. He's not gonna."
Yeah, she's let him do it. He
Okay.
has the money to do it.
That's
No,
what
I
he
adore him.
doesn't care. Like he is.
And I
rich.
like how they didn't tell you he's rich until pretty far into the series. They're like, oh, by the way, his family's loaded. And you're like, oh, like you knew he was well off, but like you didn't realize he's loaded, serious money.
Because you're like at the beginning, I think he had a retreat on book 3 that he has like his stuff, and he's like, catering is like money's not money's no object. Whatever
No
you
object, whatever you want to do, Jules. And that's what they're like. First, maybe Lance has deep pockets. Like,
I was like thinking, like, how is the Oregon Shakespeare Theater pays that much? Like in theater, like it's
right? Because like theater, you would think it's like a pittance that they're making. Like you never hear that people make a lot of money in theater.
Yeah.
No, but then it all makes sense. His family's loaded.
I love his storyline. I love when he comes back to visit his family, and then
with his family, that's a good one. I forget which book that is, but that's the fun one.
Visit his family,
the brother,
and then the boyfriend.
Yes,
you like certain things, and then you realize, I was like, "Look, you're not gonna pretend anymore. I'm not. I'm just
yes."
And I was like, "Yes,
please, because yourself is great." No, he's so funny. I love him and Joel's relationship too. I love how he's always like on her about putting makeup on and getting herself together, and their banter and everything is wonderful. Like I love that she came home and then found a good friend in him for sure. And then even the lady cop that they brought in, kind of in the middle of the series was great. Carrie, and what's his name?
Thomas.
What's the guy? Thomas, Carrie and Thomas. Like I love their little storyline. That's really been a cute part of the series too. And like I wasn't sure about her at first. She was kind of standoffish and like stern and everything, but like getting to know her has been really fun. And yeah, she's done really good with the characters. Now that I think about it, there's a lot, and we like all of them. And even the ones we don't like, we love to hate Richard Lord. So
we do. I mean, what's the only thing that's a plot hole missing? I think it was a book about the cabaret where Jules meets her long lost best friend from elementary school. But we don't. It was like
what happened to her?
I don't know, but we didn't see her afterwards, and I was like,
that was cute because her and Thomas were talking about, oh, it's so great that she's back in town and yada.
But we didn't see her, and so that's the only plot hole. They were like, we want to see
that's
her.
Pretty good. In a 20-book series to only have that plot hole, I would say though, because maybe Ellie just forgot about her. I don't know.
Yeah. I think it's hard. I feel like writing long series is hard because you actually need to have
it's gotta be.
And to keep the details together. Because readers, not us, we're nice, but other readers are very mean, and they go to the author and like, why did you do so and so this? So where you're missing this?
Absolutely. Or you had a plot hole here, or whatever it may be. Yeah, they feel entitled to put them down. Like they could do any better. I wonder, and you've talked to so many authors, I wonder how many of them have to go back and reread parts of their own books to find out what was. They do. See, because I feel like I would be the same way. Like I wrote this, but especially in a long-running series that was 10 years ago started, how the hell would you remember? I think a smart thing would be to do is, like you said, make a series Bible as you're writing it, like with all the little like notes and stuff. But who is to know that they're going to have 22 books in a series when they're writing book 1?
It's not, because I've talked to authors who have long-run series, and a lot of series are bought in three installments or 6 installments, depending on what it is. And so they have to, and so usually it's not the author building the series Bible. It's someone as an assistant or someone who is like an editor. That's
genius.
Their whole job.
Yes, that's their job.
It's someone.
Can I get that job?
Good. You can look for.
Can I make your series Bible? That would be amazing. Actually, imagine that job. Like
that is a job.
Notes on your books.
That is a job.
That's amazing.
Like, one of people need to have, and so you may have this in both in romance and in cozy mystery long run series. So you need to have it. I think too. I'm assuming they have the same thing because they need. To
I think any long running series, right? You would have to have that continuity and all that kind of matchup, right? Yeah.
So I'm assuming, and this one's because some authors, if you notice, their long running series, there's not a lot of details. It's very high level. They do it on purpose because they don't want to they don't want to miss the plot hole. They don't want to get the reader saying, "Yeah, the person has this hair color." Like Jules' supposed hair color is blonde, but you said that she had redhead color here and stuff like that. So they're very light on the details and the specifics. I know there's for really good detail, and this is probably how a series Bible. They probably have like a beta reader, like who's actually just looking at
someone who's on top of that. I feel like maybe the details are in the setting and the food and that kind of stuff, because that's easy. Who cares? You know what I mean? Like and I know most of them have a map of their towns, fictional or not. Like they do map it out so they know, like when I say that she went down the street and she took a left to go to the Mary Windsor, I can't say she took a right next book, because someone, like you said, some asshole is going to be like, that's not what you said in book 1.
Yes, there's a lot of assholes in this space.
Absolutely. I feel like they need to tell the author, I got to tell you that you messed up here. Yeah.
Yes.
If they already don't probably know, but it's too late. The book is out there. It's done. What do you want them to do? They can change the digital version and update the things, but are they going to reprint? No. Of course not. That's silly.
Yeah.
What can they do now?
So those are our conversation about cozy mysteries. Thank you, Amy, for talking all things cozy and going on a tangent about TV adaptations. Keep me posted, tell me lies, and
I
hopefully
will. And I love tangents. I'm always going off on them.
that's. And honestly, we'll be waiting for off-campus series, and we'll let you know if we like it and we continue with it, or if we just hated it and we just ignore that it ever happened.
Yeah. We might have to do an episode on that. TBD, I guess. We'll see how it goes.
Amy, tell us where you can find you online.
You can find me at novelgossip.com or on Instagram at novelgossip.
Awesome, Amy. Thank you for being on the show.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thanks for listening to the What to Read Next. For more book lists, cozy reads, and library tips, visit the whattoreadnextblog.com. Your next great read might be waiting there.